Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So, you've had your nice conversation with Vanessa. You've gotten your 3,000 gold, half the 6,000 that you got from the jewels.
Is it all in gold coins?
It's all in gold coins.
So, backpack full of gold.
Backpack full of gold.
Once again, got this backpack full of gold. Although this time I don't intend to bribe anyone with it, so I can probably keep it. So I hoist my encumbered self onto my phantom steed, which I'm pretty sure can deal with my weight no problem. 10, just barely actually. I think it can deal with my weight, but it's 10 pounds per level. So that's 80 pounds. That's actually just enough to carry me, my robes, and my backpack. We'll assume that I don't think I have anything that I'm carrying. So that's literally squeaking in. And
yet your horse is unencumbered.
No, but if I like pick up a rock, it will.
Oh, it can't move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go visit the main temple.
Okay.
Maybe take a meandering route, see if I can see if I notice Jebib on the way.
Yeah. You notice outside the temple are a lot of poor, impoverished people, kind of sitting in the rain, trying to beat the heat by like soaking themselves in water. But you know, even the rain is warm, so they're having a hard time cooling off.
Mm-hmm. I look curiously at these. Are they peasants or are they the priests?
No, they're peasants.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty, dirty peasants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. You have arrived at the temple.
I'll make my rounds, pay homage or whatever. I don't know what people do in temples, but I poke around and admire the architecture. Yeah. Use this as yeah. Continue designing the clock that I've been planning on building here.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever got the priestess's final say on that, but I've sort of just.
Well, you didn't use your bureaucracy proficiency to get the right permits, so.
Mm-hmm. I think it's grandfathered in. I've been in this town longer than this priest. Well, maybe at least longer than she's been the mother of this temple. So. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to say to her in particular, or are you just examining the temple?
I guess not. I don't know. Just checking in, maintaining these NPC relationships. Okay. You know how it goes. Cool. I mean, I would ask if she talked. Like, I've been here, I think, twice or so under similar circumstances. One time, she didn't even really talk to me, and I got shooed off by another priest. Another time, I did have sort of an odd philosophical conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
I think I asked for her advice on something, and when the army of Cauldron was approaching,
right,
and she was a little disturbed by my philosophical musings. But I mean, so if she takes notice of me and talks to me, I will ask her for news of the town or anything like that, or if she asks for a donation, I would probably. I've got a backpack with 3,000 gold. I'm probably feeling pretty flush, and may even give alms. But no, I'm just sort of hanging around and surveying the place. Are there priests around?
There are plenty of priests around. You don't see Mother Emma herself.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the priests do take notice of you, and you see them whispering to one another and gesturing in your way. The poor people that are on the steps of the church or on the lawn on either side stay out of your way, and as you meander in their direction, they find a convenient excuse to get up and go somewhere else.
I think it's when I park the phantom steed at the near the entrance to the church, like where these people are laying out in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
They probably they get up and walk away from this unnatural beast.
Okay.
So I enter the temple, think about my water clock. What is the typical like Do you like light candles for your gods? What's the
Yeah.
typical religious practice?
You light candles and kind of small little candles and place them at the base of the statues while you say your prayers. And when the candles burn out, the prayers are supposed to be answered.
Okay. Okay. And then how do donations typically work? Is like
Everyone is generally tithes 10% of their wealth every month to the church.
Sure. Is there like a bucket at the entrance, or how do they do it?
It's not quite just a big bucket that you throw money into, but there are occasionally sermons, and there's a collections basket that's passed around at that point. There is also an alms basket that is off to the side that is constantly being cleared, almost fully cleared. So there's always some coins in there, but if it piles up, they'll take away most of them.
Okay, so if there is an alms bin and the priests are watching me poke around, I will very obviously put a platinum piece in the bin. The holiest of metals.
Yes.
The one that withstands the test of time.
Okay. Anyone notice?
You just said they were staring right at me.
Well, they're staring right at you, but platinum and silver look pretty similar from a distance, especially in dim light.
When they go to clear it, they'll be like, who else would have put this platinum?
Right. They'll notice it then, but at this moment, they don't seem to react extraordinarily to it.
Okay. And I sort of circled the temple, noting which gods have candles lit at them. I don't light a candle for Malchus or anything like that, but I assume there's probably no candles on the darker gods.
Although all the construction work has been cleared away from the statue of whatever it was, Malchus or Verossi, that was being covered.
Say that again. What was can you remind me?
They were doing some work on the temple, and they had like thrown some tarps over one of the statues of the gods, and you had given them shit for covering up the gods.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. But that whole area has been cleared out now, so it's good.
And repaired, right? They didn't like remove the statues of the gods.
Correct.
I think was it Verossi that was covered up or something?
I think it was Verossi, but I don't really remember. It was a couple weeks ago now.
Okay. Does Verossi have any candles lit?
Nope.
People don't pray to her when their loved ones are sick from.
They do. If someone is dying or grievously wounded and needs to be taken to the other side, or someone has recently passed and you want to wish them a good journey, candles can be lit to Verossi, but today there are none.
Okay. And of course, none to Malchus.
Yes.
These people need a little more chaos in their lives. Okay. All right. So after doing a loop, I depart, hop aboard my steed, and maybe do another look around the town to see if I can find Jebib, and if I don't, I'll head back to Misty Rapids.
Okay. When you arrive back at Misty Rapids, you see a new face on the ramparts.
Ooh. Can I see them from as I'm approaching?
Yes. That's not until you're within maybe 40 or 50 feet that you recognize that this is a new person and not just one of the guards taking over. It is a rather tall and slender woman, over 6 feet tall, but still under 150 pounds. She's youngish, maybe.
It sounds like a familiar description. Are you sure I haven't seen this person before?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe mid-20s, somewhere around there. Wearing leather armor and holding a what do you call it? A parasol over her head.
An umbrella?
Yeah.
I smile as I approach.
The short blonde hair woman kind of bobs as she leans over and goes, "Who goes there?"
You may call me Ark Carl. Tis a pleasure to meet you. Would you mind opening the gate?
You are the one I have heard so much about.
Have you? I didn't realize the ladies of town were talking about me.
I'm not from town.
Oh. Open up. We must get acquainted. I'm
She
sizing
withdraws and goes to open the gate after making you wait an uncomfortable amount of time.
But it wasn't. It was just enough that it was uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable that I felt the need to knock the door down or teleport
Right. It was like
inside.
4 seconds of silence, and then she moved to go open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. The door opens, and she stands before you. She's got a medium shield strapped to her back, a long sword at her side, actually on her right hip instead of her left hip.
Okay, so she's probably left-handed.
Yeah. And now that you're up nice and close and can get a good look at her.
She does come to operate the gate. Does she have to come down from the wall?
Yes.
Okay. So she does wait there to meet with me.
Well, yeah, she opens the gate for you. You ride it on your horse,
Yeah.
kind of taking your
Dismount.
head a little bit. And you notice that not only is she tall, but she's like uncomfortably thin and frail. Not like she does look. I'm not quite sure what the right word is, but almost gaunt.
Frail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So not healthy. She's not like lithe and beautiful. She's
No.
malnourished.
I wouldn't quite call it malnourished, but like really lanky and really thin. Like a stiff breeze could blow her over. But she has a surprising amount of grace with her steps, despite this lankiness.
Look up at her. Well, you're a big one.
I am El Alyssa Milgan, the new gatekeeper.
I bow deeply. A pleasure to meet you, Kel. Where you said you were not from Misty Rapids. Where do you call home?
My mother is one of the landed knights of the East. I have recently finished my squireship, and this is my first appointment. Quite an honor for such a young knight, she says with a bit of a smile.
Well, let's go ahead and add her name to the list.
Is this your kill list?
Now the notes list. Let's see. Kel Alyssa Milgan.
Milgan.
Well, welcome to Misty Rapids. Let me stable my horse and we can get acquainted.
I have duties to attend, unfortunately. Maybe sometime later.
Has she closed the gate?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
If you'd like to interact with her later, that's fine, but she insists on going back to keeping the gate.
Yeah, and I was thinking that I would talk with her while she's at the gate, but I'll think about what I want to do. I need to get back to my research or how much time I have. How many hours? I guess I will deposit my horse by the side of the. I was told not to put it in the stables with the rest of the horses, so I think I just sort of like leave it outside of the forge for now. I deposit my loot in the Wizard Luck chest and count it. I think I was intending on walking back to the wall and trying to get a feel for this new knight. But I probably get distracted counting gold, and then I get back to my studies for a few hours. And I probably, lose track of time until dinner.
So we can go ahead and skip the rest of the week if you'd like.
I would like to figure out what the deal is with this Kel Milligan.
Sure. So the next day, the 19th.
Well, or is she at dinner that night or something?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it at dinner. The rain does slow and eventually stop by the time it is dinner. Find my damn rain soundtrack. Okay. So over dinner.
Sure. So Kel Milligan, you said you were from the east, as in the eastern reach of Greene County, or
No. 2 towns over. From 2 villages over. I'm still within Misty Rapids barony. Just not the town itself.
Is that where you served as squire?
She shakes her head. No. I served a lowly knight up in Rainwood. Well, near Rainwood.
Who was this knight? Perhaps I know him.
Bronzewyn?
No, I'm afraid we're not acquainted.
I wouldn't expect you to be. He was an older gentleman, well past his prime.
Years often bring wisdom. In a mentor, this is perhaps more important than his youth. Is there anything that I actually want to know? Kind of curious what she had heard about me, but I don't think I'll outright say it, or I would ask that. So how did you and Baron Song, how are you and Baron Song acquainted? I guess I'll turn to Baron at this point in the conversation and bring him into it if he'd like.
He's chatting with Haynes.
Okay. So the seating is Lady Dysek is at his right, or is she not here? Her permanent seat is at his right, or his left, or at his side somewhere.
Lady Dysek currently sits. So Baron Song sits at the head of the table, and Lady Dysek sits next to him. So the two of them form the head of the table.
Okay, so that's new, right? So she took my seat more or less.
Well, no, because it used to be him at the end, and then the other two people.
So I was around. So I'm still around the corner.
Yeah, you're still around the corner, and now there's just the Lord and the Lady at the head of the table.
So am I next to Lady Dysek now, or am I on the other side? I think I was previously on his left, and Kel Greller used to be on his right, and then
So he sits. She sits on his right side.
Okay.
So you are adjacent to him, and Haynes is adjacent to Lady Song.
And where is Kel Milligan?
She is to you, across the table, to your left, while Heather is to Haynes's right.
Okay.
So you're across from Haynes, and Milligan is across from Heather.
Okay. All right. So how did you and Baron Song become acquainted?
There was a call for any knights who may wish to join Baron Song's retinue.
I cast ESP. I just realized I have it memorized. Okay. So I while she's answering, I'm twirling a copper coin in my hand under the table and muttering under my breath. She can roll a spellcraft check or something if she wants to see if I'm casting a spell, or perception check, or however you deal with that.
She kind of doesn't notice, or notices and doesn't care. Tells you a story about how a call came out to her area for any knights who might want to work more closely with Baron Song. And her mother, who is the landed knight at their estate, suggested that she try it out.
Mm-hmm.
After all, she had just finished her squireship and really didn't have much to do other than running the town with her mother. Their father is dead, or her father is dead.
Okay.
So she, applied, and next thing she knew, she was here.
Well, I don't know what life was like in Rainwood, but I think you'll find Misty Rapids a interesting place for your first appointment. The Tether Wilds can be quite dangerous.
I grew up here.
I suppose that is true. So you know all about the gnolls and the curses and...
The curses?
Well, I've only been here a short time, but it is clear that some dark things are buried out there in the plains.
Like what?
Well, you're from... Which village did you say? You remember the Wraiths a few months back?
I've only heard of them by legend. I was up in Rainwood at the time.
Yeah. I've sort of lowered my voice at this, and I'm assuming that the Dicex isn't totally listening. I probably don't want to let out too much. Actually, I think I'll stop that topic there, because I don't want to be like, Lady Dissec excavated this temple and I accidentally unleashed a bunch of wraiths on the land. But
yeah.
She's not thinking anything particularly contradictory to what she's saying?
No.
Boring.
Boring indeed.
Do I have a feel for how old she is? You said she was young?
Mid-20s.
Okay. Doesn't seem that seems like a pretty typical age for a knight.
Yeah. She is younger than pretty much everyone else here, though, I think. Except for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Haynes is older. Hell, Crystal is 50-something.
Really?
Baron Song is... I guess Baron Song's pretty young. He's in his 20s as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Dissec is in her 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you had heard of me.
Yes.
Nothing too awful, I hope. I don't suppose I have many friends up in the Rainwood.
I don't suppose you have many friends anywhere. If the rumors are what they say they are, and judging by your steed earlier, they appear to be true. They call you a conjurer of otherworldly beasts.
A conjurer? No. You must be getting me confused with Aldrich. I am a dimensionalist, a master of space and time.
And that mount?
Yes, my phantasmal steed. 'Tis indeed a conjuration. You are correct. Are you? You are quite well educated, I suppose.
One thing does come from squiring for older knights. I spend a lot of time reading, and I know a great many things. My combat prowess may not be quite equal to some of my peers. Have a gift for knowledge, or maybe I've just been put in a position to learn things.
Well, I have a most impressive library. Do let me know if there's ever a book you would like to borrow or anything like that.
Is it true what they say about wizards' books, that if you open them, flames will reach out and grab you?
This is a thing that can be done, but no, none of my books are trapped.
She seems a little disappointed.
Perhaps now that you mentioned it, I should take more precaution in protecting my spell books. No, I meant my research materials.
Ah, I see. Well,
Even a learned woman such as yourself would have trouble making heads or tails of the language of magic. And each wizard's pen is so unique, it's a mess to decipher.
she nods slowly. And then the conversation turns and she starts talking to Heather and Haynes.
Okay. I do have my ESP for 8 minutes, but it doesn't sound like I learned anything interesting.
No, she seems to be a pretty ordinary young knight.
What? Nothing sounds ordinary about her. She's like 6.5 feet tall, and she sounds very intelligent and educated and not particularly strong. She seems like, and she's a woman. She seems like quite an unusual knight. All right. I guess I probably get a little more research in later that evening, and then we fast forward to the next day. I need to be here to be doing my research, so maybe we can even pick up the pace and skip a few days at a time.
Yeah, so let's skip ahead. That was the 18th.
Yeah, I do want to check up on my villages. However, that will probably require travel.
Yes, that would require travel.
And I can't research while I travel. Is there... am I able to find Jebib in this time?
Yeah, you can find Jebub one day.
Okay.
What would you like to do with Jebub?
I'd like to hire him to dig me ditches.
Where do you want your ditches dug?
Jebib, my good man, it's good to see you.
Wonderful to see you too.
I was just thinking about you. How are you? How are you doing these days? Keeping yourself busy?
Oh, I do what I can to make ends meet, but let's just say there's a lot of labor and not a lot of work.
Well, now that you mention it, I do have some. There are some tasks around the keep that.
I sure as hell would be up to some work if you got something for me, boss.
Yeah, if you're looking for some more steady employment, why don't you come with me back to the keep?
Hot damn.
What was your rate again? Is that listed under the...
A silver a day. It's under the net income.
Okay.
I guess that could probably be changed to wages. But, your standard laborer makes a silver a day for a daily wage, or 6 silver a week, or 24 silver a month if you want to hire them for like a treat month.
I probably do. God, that is so sad. I will probably just pay him indefinitely and not even...
You can give him 28 gold, 28.8 gold.
Just buy him for the year.
For a year.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. Yeah, why don't I just do that?
His eyes go wide as you are pulling out gold coins to pay him for a year's worth of labor up front.
I don't know that I actually do that, but I'm gonna. I don't know. I guess. It was 28.8.
Nice.
Well, I will subtract it now, and we'll just assume that he's hanging around the keep for the year. Probably sleeps in. Are there quarters? There's quarter. Actually, the keep is big enough for far more than it houses, so he could actually get a room. He doesn't have to sleep in the ditch that he digs.
Yes. He's got a room. He's got his own place back in town, so he'll just make the trek out here every day to work for you, and then back every night.
Okay. So I'll have him working around the forge. If he's smart enough, I may even start trying to teach him more useful proficiencies, but that's probably not going to happen. So for now, he'll just be digging ditches. And maybe as I expand the forge, she'll be helping with that. But we'll be digging out my future basement and yeah, so digging out the ditch, and we may even start framing like an expansion of the forge next week or something if we get to that. But all right.
Okay.
Does he's got a wife and kids or something?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think he said he had a wife and kids.
All right. I was thinking if he's a single man, I feel like it would make more sense to just move him into the keep. But
I don't remember if he said he was single or if he had a wife and kids. I remember playing with your heartstrings when you were originally going to sacrifice him.
yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he had to have had a wife and kids. Yeah, I remember that being a thing.
I think he was single, actually.
Really? Then why was it so? I mean, the reason I
liked him.
I tried to kill him and I critically missed, and I just took it as
true.
mine.
I think he's single. His cousin has a wife and kids, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
He's got like nieces and nephews.
All right.
That
So for
sounds
now,
fun.
this commuting can work, and I'll tell. God, why did you have my sister's name is Alyssa, by the way, chat. So I'm grumbling at Neil for naming this NPC after my sister.
Someone else in chat named the NPC, and
Really?
Yeah. Well, when they brought up the name Alyssa, I had to roll with it.
Kel Milligan. I will let her know that Jebub's doing some work for me at the forge and to let him in every morning or whatever. There's not like a side door or anything? Like you have to open the gate for every pedestrian that walks in?
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's how you make a defensive structure.
Yeah.
But Kel, Alyssa, and will get to know Jebub pretty easily, or pretty quickly, and won't be an issue.
Okay. Yeah. So I put him to work at the forge, type doing odds and ends. He probably gets to live a pretty cushy life.
Nice.
Like digging ditches is hard work, but I think I'm so immersed in my studies that I don't have enough time to manage him properly. So he like does what I tell him to do, and then like spends a couple of hours sitting around while I deep in thought before I can come out and give him something else to do. Mostly because out of character, I haven't totally figured out what I want to do with the forge yet. But
So his life is pretty, not a lot of work going on.
He's digging a ditch, but I haven't figured out what for yet, or how to put in the basement. Or I guess I'm not a carpenter, but I can design the building, right?
Yeah.
I need a real carpenter to build it, and he's not qualified for that sort of thing.
Right.
Right, so we may need to bring in an actual carpenter at some point. All right. So I think with that, I'm comfortable skipping forward a few days.
Okay.
While I'm at the keep, I probably won't fuss with my deep pockets. I should do some scrying. At some point in those days, I will do a clairvoyance on Aldrich's message room.
Okay.
Remember, we had set up I think it was just like a desk in the library in Thornwood that he would leave a note on if there was any message he wanted to send me.
Right.
So I actually used it, but I've been in the habit of scrying on it every week or so. And I actually intend to set up something similar here for him to look at.
Well, you need your own tower to do all this stuff. Yeah.
Not necessarily. I can just leave a note, and it's not like this keep has scrying protection on it. I can leave a note anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In any case,
Yeah.
is there anything there?
Nope.
No. Is there anything else that I wanted to scry on? I was checking up on Lady Dysek, who's here. I've been keeping my eyes on her to see if there's anything out of the ordinary. And also doing my best to keep an eye on Heather. I guess I'm, probably pretty negligent and buried in my books most of the time. But I have to come out for breaks.
Okay.
Do I...
So nothing really is going on with Heather. Nothing's really happening with Lady Dissect so far. It seems like everything in and around Misty Rapids has calmed down. The vampires are gone. The shit with Cauldron's over. There's no chimeras. The wraiths are gone.
That's actually chimera does remind me that that's something I was thinking of doing. I want to get through this research, but I was thinking if you didn't throw anything at me, I would go wander around the whatever that swamp is called and see if I can find a chimera's lair, the Soggy Hills, and try and level up doing that, just farming XP in the Soggy Hills. But I'm pretty much confined to Misty Rapids until I get the spell researched.
Right.
We're at some point I'll ask Baron Song for news on the Steamhouse army, if he knows what happened to Baron Steamhouse.
Sure. We can just kind of do this throughout the week sporadically. It doesn't really matter when. He lets you know that Baron Steamhouse has vanished. No one knows where he is or what happened to the remainder of his men. His daughter, Lady Lisa Steamhouse, has been put on, I don't want to call it the throne, but has taken over management of the barony, and Kel Crystal Keystone has gone with her to help her along in those things.
So basically, Kel Crystal is managing the barony.
Yes.
Like the girl, I mean, not only was she a girl, she was also kind of out of her mind.
Well, the gender thing's not an issue in this setting.
Who said it was?
You said not only is she a girl, but she's also
I meant that she's in a child.
I see what you mean.
Teenager.
No, she's 24, so she's actually
really?
old enough to
Okay.
run the place.
She's older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but she's definitely out of her mind, and Kel Crystal is officially there to protect her and give her guidance, but I think you understand pretty easily that Kel Crystal's there to run things because she's incapable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's going on over there. There are people, many people that would like to see her father for many reasons. And Countess Castilian has issued a verdict that he is to be arrested on site and brought before her for crimes against the county.
So it sounds like Song's diplomatic mission was successful, or whatever.
Whatever. Something, it seems to have gone in Song's way.
Yeah.
So many things seem to go his way these days. So very many things.
So, and at some point, so I guess maybe let's skip a few days. I think I would like to take a field trip out to the temple and see how things are going there.
The underground temple?
Yes. What one shot was it? Was it a one shot or was it one of the it might have been one of the auditions where there was an ancient temple? What am I thinking of? Like there appears to be I don't know, not that Georg knows this, but there was some information given about the clerics of old who, I don't know, turned, I don't know the whole legend, but that cursed the land using their divine magic for selfish reasons and constructing these vain temples.
Yes, that is the lore of the world.
Okay. So this would have occurred to Georg at some point, or
perhaps. I think especially as you go through these old books and you're reading about the histories of things, I think you would realize that is something,
and make the connection that this temple out there, this underground temple, is probably one of many throughout the land. That were sort of the temples of the old clerics before the. Is there a name for the event that cursed the land? And
people generally refer to it as the curse or the cursing or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So maybe this is I stumble across some of this in the course of my research, and this is what spurs me on several days later to go visit the temple once again.
Okay.
And does anything happen in those days that we skip?
No, nothing happens.
Okay. So I conjure a phantom steed and ride out to the.
Yeah. All right. So you make it out to the temple out there. It is a nice, lovely journey on a warm day, but the skies are clear. It's not raining. It's not too hot. Great day to travel. It is Thursday, the 21st of July. And you arrive at the temple. All the old things that were there, the signs that were built, the whatever tents remained after people came and left, have all kind of toppled over. It looks fairly deserted, dilapidated, things are falling apart. You can head down into the underground temple.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll leave my horse at the entrance, my steed at the entrance. Remove my glowing snake staff from my pocket and head down.
Okay. You make it down into the temple. What are you looking for down here?
Well, I was kind of hoping that there would be a secret cult down here worshiping me, but it seems like not. They all got eaten by bears.
Something like that.
So I'm just, I'm checking in to make sure no bears have taken up residence or been deposited here by a particularly vindictive nature priest.
No bears.
Is there anything here? Like the temple is empty?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
The temple is empty.
Okay. And Malchus is still reigning supreme?
Yes.
At least in my eyes.
Yes.
All right. So I think I spend a few minutes wandering around, but I guess if there's no one here and there's nothing here, then I'll leave.
Okay.
I think did I talk with Mother Emma about this place? I think I might have brought it up, but if not, I do want to bring it up with her and offer to show it to her.
I don't think you've talked about this place with Mother Emma.
Okay. Then I will.
All right, so you're gonna head back and talk to her today about it?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll ride. Yeah, I've got my Phantom Steed, so I'll just go ahead and make a quick trip to Misty Wrap. Well, this place was actually a couple of hours east, wasn't it?
Yes, it's a bit of a trek.
How many hours?
On your Phantom Steed, probably like 3.5.
Okay, so that is most of the day.
Yeah, there and back is like you're not doing any studying that day, pretty much.
No, I just stay up late or whatever.
Yeah. Why don't we take our break here, and we'll deal with Mother Emma and everything on the other side of our break.
Super boring episode. Economics and dragons.
You know, it's been 3 weeks, and sometimes you got to do some of this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.